Welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and One Pro. As always, you got your guys Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. We're back. The gang's back. Brian finally came back from good old Maine. That's why I have this hat on today. This is tribute
Yeah,
to Brian.
because a lot of Mainers wear that hat.
This is my fisherman hat. You know what I mean? Should I wear it the whole episode?
No,
you look great.
I think I look cool. People say this guy's weird. But anyway. We have a lot to cover, man. We didn't really get in depth on our topics last week, so we have a lot to cover. Before we get to it, Brian, how was Maine?
It was busy, man. I don't even feel like I was on vacation. I had a lot of stuff going on because my buddy got married, so we did like all the bachelor stuff and all that. So I just feel like I was going from one place to another, and it was fun, but it was busy, and I was exhausted by the end of it. But it was worth it.
What did you do for the bachelors?
We went camping.
Oh my god, the hat goes off just because of that. You went camping. That's what we're talking about. Come on, bro.
Yeah, man. What's wrong with that?
That is trash. For a bachelor's party, right? You're supposed to send them off, and you're gonna go camping.
What would you have done, King? What did you want to do?
Come on, bro. Come on, let's get to it.
You going to the club, huh? Is that what you're trying to say?
We're gonna party. We're gonna have it up.
Who said we didn't party? I mean,
at the camping site.
Yeah.
Who? You and Smokey the Bear? Oh, you could prevent forest fires? Get out of here.
Nah, man. One of the guys that was renting out another cabin here, he shot him. He shot Smokey the Bear. Dead.
Anyway, Ryan, what's going on with you, bro?
I was like half not listening, and then I caught the tail end of that.
Yeah,
he shot him. I looked at him, I was like, what?
Oh, shit. He shot him. What the hell going on?
Right? Hey, man, it's bear hunting season, all right?
All right. Well, no, I'm just chilling, man. I'm getting up to date. I'm ready to go. I'm chilling. Kenny is a mess. But this dude's out of control. His headphones aren't working.
Yeah, I just took. Come on, bro. Come on, now. You see me maneuvering, right? I try to be funny with it, and I mess it all up. But anyway, I'm back to it.
Great though.
I appreciate it, bro. All right, let's get straight into it. One, I want to touch on the NBA. The NBA is about to get picking up. Oh, it's about to start picking up right now. We're going through the preseason and things right now. I know it's boring. Anyway, getting into it, man. It's a couple guys that's in the G League right now that are going to be their top, probably number 1 and 2. Scoot Henderson is probably going to be the number 2 overall pick next year. I want to make sure I say his names right. Victor Wembanyama. I think how you say his name. Everybody's calling him the next prodigy, probably the best prospect since LeBron. Have you guys had a chance to look at him?
Never heard of him.
7'4", right? So normally you hear a guy that's tall, right? 7'4", whatever the case may be. You'd be like, okay, oh yeah, whatever. He just tall.
What's his name?
This Victor Wembanyama. So
cool.
It's WEM.
I got it.
BAN. Okay, cool. Anyway, so he's 7'4", but this dude, he has he's very skillful. He can shoot the three. He can back down. He can block. He can dribble. And he's thin, right? But like he has a little grittiness to him, and it throws you off because you're like, how is he dribbling like this, and how is he shooting like this at 7'4", right? Like how is he this nimble and quick on his feet at 7'4"? So I'm looking forward to seeing him next year. Of course, right now the G League, he's going to be in there. He's going to be killing it. Everybody's talking about him already. Look, people praising him already. So long as he stays healthy, we'll definitely see him in the league. LaMelo got hurt. That's probably the biggest thing. LaMelo got hurt. A couple other guys got hurt. Getting into the actual season has started, which is on the 18th. I know the elephant in the room that people have been talking about the last couple of weeks is the Jordan Poole, Draymond Green controversy. That all I'm going to say, we're going to touch on it a little bit later, right? But all I want to say to that is that the way Draymond Green punched him, it wasn't like you have brothers fight, right? I get it. But that was like, I don't know. The way he hit him, it was like as if he like, bro, like you owe me money, or like he did something to his family, because he hit him with a clean. It's not even a jab. That joint was kind of like that joint was like a haymaker, right? You know what I mean? So he hit him with that, and I was like, damn. And Jordan fell, and then whoever leaked it out, that's crazy. You know, I think the media is playing such a big factor in today's day, leaking all videos. People, you just pay somebody the number, a certain amount of dollars, and they're gonna leak it.
He left his feet.
Not like he
He
really
left his feet.
he turned it. He put his hip in it, bro. He put his hip in it like a real boxer jab, right?
Oh, dude,
That joint was crazy. Yeah. So that's all I'm gonna touch on that from now.
Man, he went Teddy.
I'm so getting to college football, right? Last week was a good week for the most part. Of course, Alabama had a couple scares. Bryce Young had hurt his AC joint 2 weeks ago, so it's been up in the air. Everybody else has kind of been, everybody's kind of been doing their thing as far as like staying even kill. No big shockers. In my opinion, based off of the play that's been going on. I think this week is going to be a big week. We're starting to get into real conference games, right? Penn State versus Michigan is going to be this week. That's going to be a big game. Alabama versus Tennessee is going to be a big game. I think it's 3 versus 6. And then the Penn State game, I think Michigan is 4 or 5, something like that, versus first set or versus 10. I mean, so that's going to be a big game. The Oklahoma State TCU game is another top ranked game. Some outlier game at the NC State Syracuse, which is kind of like NC State and Syracuse, like they're good this year. NC State everybody knew, but Syracuse is actually in the teens ranked. That's going to be a good game. It's going to be a decent game. O'Leary's not going to play there, but it's good to see Syracuse is ranked. And then the nightcap is going to be USC versus Utah, which is going to be a hell of a game for sure. Utah somehow always plays everybody hard, especially at home. It's going to be very rowdy. So I'm looking forward to college football this week as well. Yeah, that's all I have though.
All right.
Beautiful.
Baseball season's over. We're in the playoffs. All right. Hold on. Sorry. I know Philly upset who they're playing this week.
Yeah, Philly has an upset right now.
The Braves. They were up 1-0. They were up 1-0 on the Braves. They're playing right now. The Braves are up 3-0 right now. 3-0 in that game, so might be tied if it stays that way. The Dodgers are up 1-0 on the Padres. They're also up 2-1 right now in the game that they're currently playing. It's early though, so but the Dodgers are stacked, bro. If they lose to the Padres, that'd be wild. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I guess Anthony Rizzo told some fan, some adult fan, to get away because he was trying to get autographs. I don't know if you guys saw that film or that video that's on TikTok or something like that.
No,
yeah, it's wild. It's just crazy because he only signs autographs for kids. I guess it's kind of weird, but
why is that weird?
I mean, why can't adult fans get autographs too? I mean,
because adult fans most of the time they don't want your autographs just so they can sell it. That's it. Right?
I mean,
not saying that kids are not going to do that, but you're more likely a kid is going to be an actual fan rather than an adult. Adult is probably going to be most likely. Oh, I got a signature. I'm going to go take it, put it on eBay, sell it, make some money off it. He's like, nah,
I wouldn't do that. I would keep it, even if it wasn't even a team I liked. I'd still keep it. But
you're an outlier. Most people don't. You know what I mean? So.
In the American League, it's the Mariners versus the Astros. They play again tomorrow. Houston's up 1-0 on them. And then the Cleveland Guardians and the New York Yankees. The Yankees are up 1-0. They also play tomorrow night as well. That's your matchups. The other teams lost, obviously, in the wild card. But
yeah. What's your thoughts on the Phillies? I like how the Phillies are looking right now. I feel like they're hitting their stride. Bats wise, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't sleep on their rotation. They got a decent rotation too, decent bullpen. I mean, they have the right pieces. They just never put it together during the season. I feel like if they get hot, they're good enough to win.
Yeah.
Like I said, they've just never put it together yet. So, but yeah, it's there have been years where the team that wins isn't the best team. It just happens to be the team that gets hot.
That was the Braves last year.
Oh, they were pretty good though.
Yeah, they were pretty good, but they weren't the best team.
No, they weren't the favorite. The Dodgers are the favorites. The Dodgers usually choke. So,
do you think that happens again this year?
Maybe. I think the Braves could take the Dodgers.
But if it's the Phillies win, then you don't think they can take them?
No. I don't think so.
What's the matchup you got for World Series? Who do you have? Your prediction?
Probably Astros and Braves.
Yeah, I have the Yankees and the Dodgers, and I'm kind of leaning towards Philly. Like that's not my dark horse, but I got the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yeah. I mean,
Kenny, you have the Yankees winning.
you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I have the Yankees winning, man. I think right now,
I don't know, man.
yeah, like I think right now they're swinging pretty decent. I think once everything gets going, it's hard, man, to play at Yankee Stadium. Like I think it's hard to play there. It's like that home field advantage. A lot of people get nervous. All the lights, everything flashing. I think it's gonna be hard. So I think they can steal a few games there. And I think the Dodgers, if they play the Dodgers, they will choke a few games. I think they'll choke a few games. Not the Yankees, but the Dodgers will. I think so. And especially because if the bats keep performing how they are now, it's going to be kind of hard.
I mean, that's all fair. That's all fair. I think the Yankees might have the best team on paper, but Garrett Cole is going to shit himself sometime in the series. He just will. He craps himself in big moments time and time again. I'm sorry, but you can't have your ace crapping himself. Just can't. He's got to be that like one guy that you know is going to shut down the other team for 7+ innings and give you the best chance to win at least one game. And I don't know, man. He cracks. He just has a bad history of cracking.
That's a valid point.
That's just my opinion. And then the Yankees bullpen has been up and down all year.
That's true. That's what I was saying about their bats.
Like, yeah. Oh, their bats? I think the bats are great. I think that they probably will hit pretty well. Unless Stanton gets cold again, then because if he gets cold, then they can pitch around Judge and not worry about him, and then just trickles down from there. So
yeah. What do you have for hockey? Isn't hockey picking up? I saw something.
Hockey's open tonight was actually last night, Tuesday night.
Okay.
So
any favorites?
Into it.
Wow,
man, it's so tough to tell. Listen, I'm going to say it again, like I said it last year. Whatever the standings are on Thanksgiving, those are your playoff teams. Almost 100% guaranteed. I think it was out of 16 teams last year, I think it was 13 of them made the playoffs. If they were in the playoffs as of Thanksgiving, then 13 out of 16 last year made it. Something about that line is a cutoff. I think
that's a great statistic. I think this year we should actually bet all the teams, like not put like 20. But no. Like just put $20 on like all the teams that are winning at that. Just put $20 on them to win the Stanley Cup. It might cost us $200, right? But then you think about it, at that point in time, since it's halfway, right? It's probably going to be one of those teams that win it, right? Yeah. And if that's the case, you're going to have a big payout because it's halfway through the season. There's so much stuff that can happen. You know what I mean?
That's true, unless it's like the number one favorite at the time.
Yeah. If it's their minus 700, yeah. But I doubt it's going to be like that at halfway through, Thanksgiving.
But usually when you make a bet like that, it's like even the favorite is like plus
8 to 1 or something like that.
Yeah. They usually give you something.
Yeah.
Some crumbs.
Some crumbs.
I'll get more into hockey next week because, like I said, it's just game 1, so not much to talk about yet.
Yeah. It's a bunch of 1-0 teams
and some 0-1 teams.
And 0-1, right? So,
yeah, I don't think we had any ties yet. All right, that's all. That's it.
What you got, Ryan?
All right, we got football. Congratulate me. I'm pretty sure I'm sweeping Brian in every league that I've played him in fantasy football. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I don't think I've lost them this year. I mean, no big deal. I'll talk about some of the bad news and then we can cover some games. But hey, Rashad Penny fractured his fibula this last week, so he's out for the year. So make way for Kenneth Walker. Is that his name?
Yeah. Yep.
I always get them mixed. I seriously always say Kenneth Harper.
Yeah, I would say it too, right? I would say it too, right? I was like Kenneth Harper, Kenneth Walker, similar guys, right? Both dogs, you know what I mean?
Similar running style. Maybe one's a little faster than the other.
No, I doubt
one's got a dangerous spin move. But I'll let you guys decide
I
which
got a
one
dangerous
is.
stiff arm, but it's cool. That one right.
Hey, if you play quarterback for the Dolphins, you're almost guaranteed a concussion.
100%.
Teddy goes out first drive, concussion in the concussion protocol. And now anyone that's like a little, if you, I don't know the word for it, but if you show signs of like being woozy, you're out. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, who else got a concussion last week? It was Olave on a touchdown pass,
yeah.
which they called it on the field no touchdown, but then they overturned it and was like, no, it was an actual touchdown. He knocked himself out when he fell to the ground. He like visibly just went blacked out.
Well, I had a quick thought, a quick point to that. You know what's amazing to me? Okay, so in college, right, there's concussions, and there are more players in college, right? Because you got 120 on the team compared to 53 in NFL, right? And it's amazing to me that in college, the coaches tell you all the time they stress having the proper air inside your helmet, strapping your shit up, stuff like that, right? And when you look at the NFL, the reason why there's so many game alert, the reason why there's so many concussions, in my opinion, is because guys are grown men, right? They're adults, but they're not taking the proper precautions and making sure the airs in the helmets are near that. If you see most of the guys, they don't even strap the helmet up, right?
Yep.
So you really got something that's probably 3 to 5 pounds on your head that's rattling around, right? And then when you hit the ground, it's a double impact. Yeah, you hit the ground and then it's a double impact with the helmet hitting you in your brain. So it's you see all these concussions and you're like, why is all these concussions happening? But you don't see it as frequent in college. But it's the differences is that, you know what I mean? And
you remember a couple of years ago, Antonio Brown threw a huge fit because he wanted to wear his specific helmet, and the Raiders were like, "No, you have to wear," because it wasn't to grade or like it wasn't along
outdated.
with the protocol. Yeah, it was outdated. But that's what happens. Players find what's comfortable to them, whether it's superstition or they're trying to gain every advantage. Remember, it was Michael Bennett used to wear those baby shoulder pads, those little tiny shoulder pads. Yeah. They just do whatever's comfortable with them to give them every advantage possible.
But the air, they need to regulate like how much air goes into helmets, though. Like you need to do that because that's like, in my opinion, that's the main issue of this whole thing. You have to have that, and they have to create some type of rule that say your shit has to be strapped up. You can't have any loose, chin strapped or anything like that, or that's a penalty. That's going to prevent a lot more stuff. But my bad, Ryan. What you had to say?
I mean, I would like to also point out that I feel like a lot of form tackling has come out of the game a little bit. You see guys kind of going, just leading in with their shoulder, they're not properly tackling, so it's leading to more head injuries. You can laugh, but it's true.
I just laugh.
Tell me how many concussions happen in rugby. They don't have no pads on, and they practice proper technique to take down each other. I'm just saying.
I don't know the statistics on that. Like, you can't just make a statement. Do you know the statistics?
I mean, it's very rare that you get a guy with concussion in rugby.
Isn't soccer one of the most for concussions?
But yeah, they're hitting the ball. They're literally hitting a ball with their head.
I mean, it's just okay. Not every play. Like a lineman is hitting every play with a defensive lineman. Anyways.
Well, that's why I brought up rugby, because every play they're in a scrum. Like
but it's all like, it looks like, I don't know. Those scrums look purposeful. Like they I don't know. They do it the right way. But you know what? We're not professionals on rugby, so let's not talk about rugby. The Falcons traded their former Pro Bowl linebacker Dion Jones to the Browns. I actually liked him when he came out, and he had a Pro Bowl year, so obviously he was really good. I think he had a big injury, and he hasn't been the same since. But he's a good cover linebacker, and I think the Browns are getting by. They're starting to get ready for their big dog to come back, Deshaun Watson. I love the memes. I cannot wait. He's permitted to go to the Browns facility now, so he's practicing, but he's not able to play till whenever they play Houston. Is that week 12?
I don't know.
Sure.
Well, he's suspended 11 weeks, so right.
So you can play week 12.
or
Yeah.
13, depending on when their bye is.
Yeah.
Man,
But it is against Houston.
it is
Whenever
against
it is.
Houston,
Yeah.
of course. The trade deadline's coming up in a couple weeks, so you're going to start hearing a bunch of buzz about teams. One of the teams you're going to hear a lot about are the Panthers. They have decided to fire Matt Rule after starting 1-4. I think we all saw the writing on the wall. Their offense just looks really bad. Baker, on top of that, Baker had a high ankle sprain. I'm not sure if this one would require other men to get surgically repaired, like Mac Jones, but apparently Baker Mayfield's not getting surgery either, and he has a high ankle sprain. So it looks like PJ Walker's in line to start because
Let's go.
They still have Sam Darnold on IR, pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he's done the whole year.
If you want to win, let PJ spin. That's all I got to say.
Darnold.
Well, I'm not gonna talk about anything insider, but can we get DJ Moore the ball? Like I just for fantasy purposes, like I have a lot of faith in this man. If he doesn't get traded, that's where a lot of the trade rumors are coming from. It's DJ Moore. I've heard landing spots for him. People that are looking for wide receivers. Odell's looking to come back mid-November, so he's going to start looking for teams. I think the teams I saw the other day that he was being mentioned with are like the Rams, obviously to go back with the Rams. But if I'm him, with the way the Rams are playing, I stay away from that unless you have faith in Stafford and them to get it right. The Bills, the Ravens, I think those are the two big teams that I saw. Wasn't sure if there was anyone else.
I saw the Packers.
Obviously the Packers because they don't have any wide receivers. They're out there trying to funnel Randall Cobb the ball like 100 times.
Didn't I see rumors about him visiting with the Giants?
Yep, I too.
I mean, I know that's probably not realistic, but like,
he said if said all they have to do is give him the right money, he'll come.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
And he visited with the Patriots in the preseason.
Yeah. So who knows?
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
We'll see. He probably is going to go to a contender, not any of those two teams I just listed.
What are you talking about? The Giants are contenders.
Yeah.
The Giants are more contenders than the Patriots. Yes. Shut your mouth, Brian.
I would say this, if you don't mind me
one game against the Lions. Go ahead.
Hey, Zappy is better than Mac Jones.
No, he's not. Oh my God.
Yes, he is. He is. He's the best quarterback that you guys have. Yes. 100%. 100%.
The Patriots would have beat the Packers if Mac Jones had played, because Zappy missed a wide open Hunter Henry on that final play in overtime.
So on the final play, doggone, that means it. But did you see the whole game?
Yeah, Mac Jones is better than Zappy. Mac Jones is a much better passer than him.
No.
And I heard you talking about Zappy's arm strength like it's some cannon or something. Bro, he's got as weak of an arm as Mac Jones. Like
what?
Are you admitting Mac Jones has a weak arm?
Bro.
He has a weak arm in comparison to a strong arm in the NFL. But
Daniel Jones?
His numbers speak for himself. I don't even have to say anything. His numbers speak for himself. He throws that pill. His numbers speak for himself.
He hasn't even thrown for 200 yet.
Bro, he had one game. I'm confused.
Basically 2 games, but yeah.
No, it's not basically 2 games. He had 1 game, right? And then he's going against a Green Bay Packers defense that you act like it's trash. The same Green Bay Packers defense that doggone Tom Brady struggled against.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So what are we saying?
What I'm saying is
that's all I have
Zappy
to
is
say.
not it. Like Zappy's at best a backup quarterback in this league. He's like Jacoby Brissett. Like, yeah, Zappy, he could come in and he could probably manage a game for you, but he's not like he's not gonna light the world on fire. Like
he's him. He's for y'all. He's him.
Mac Jones is not gonna light the world on fire either.
Mac Jones has a better chance of carrying a team than Zappy.
Dude.
Okay. That's what they thought about Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady, right? Until Tom Brady came and really got into his bag. Right? Okay.
There's a difference. Your Mac Jones love has happened so quickly It's the fastest I've
wasn't
ever
like
seen you
that.
buy in on a player.
No.
Like it's the
Am I
fastest
bought
I've
in on
ever
him?
seen.
Did I buy his jersey? No, I didn't. Not bought
Okay.
in on Mac Jones as being
So
the
if you don't,
franchise quarterback.
if you don't buy his jersey, then that means you're not bought in. You have
Yeah,
to buy.
pretty much.
Okay.
That's how I roll. I don't buy a
right.
jersey of a player that I'm not bought in on.
Okay. Fair. Mental note. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, what are your guys' thoughts on the Raiders? They just keep choking away games. They were beating the Chiefs 17-0, I think, at the time I saw, and they just stopped playing. Devonte Adams, I think, only had 7 targets. He had 3 catches. He had a great game, but he only had 3 catches in that game. They were just bombed for 2 of them were touchdowns. He was visibly upset after this game. He threw his helmet down. He was going to the locker room and he shoved a cameraman. So he's going to get fined by the NFL probably and maybe face a suspension. We'll see. And I also think he's pressing charges. Whoever the camera person is pressing
he got
charges
charged with assault today.
Yeah, misdemeanor.
I mean, geez, just
And
that
that's gonna
team's
go
falling
away
apart.
once he pays him some money. That's how it's gonna roll.
I would say this to this point, right? I don't know what McDaniels is doing over there. Like, I think they have the same effect that the Ravens do. Like they only play one half. That's it. They play one half and that's it.
It's because McDaniels is used to having that killer for a quarterback with Brady. Brady never let off.
Oh, it's like Hernandez played tight end.
No, but what I'm saying is like I feel like Derek Carr. I feel like Derek Carr doesn't have that mentality, so he plays not to lose instead of just playing to win.
I don't think that. Like
I don't think it's McDaniel's play calling.
Nah,
I think his play calling is the same as it always has been.
It doesn't look the same though, right? It doesn't look the same. Like we have seen Derek Carr last year, the year before, just like go out there and slinging it. And you're like, bro, y'all up? He's still slinging it. You don't see that this much this year. It's way more conservative. It's the Patriots way. Let's run the ball a little bit. Let's do some play action. Yeah, we're gonna get doggone Devonte Adams a ball, right? Waller gets a couple catches, Renfro, but it's not like hey, let's guns out, suns out, like let's go. It's not like that at all. Like it looks really Patriot like, right?
Well, I mean, why would you not want to replicate what the Patriots do when they've had so much success in the last 20 years?
Because you're not the Patriots.
Because you don't have Tom Brady.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
He's one of a kind. Tom Brady has proven that he was the person that made that system work.
Tom Brady. The difference is this: you have a guy in Derek Carr, right? That is he is a volume guy, right? He's a volume guy. Tom Brady is not a volume guy, right? Tom Brady is very precise, right? You can give Tom Brady 10 throws, he's going to kill you on all 10 throws. Derek Carr is not like that. You're going to have to give Derek Carr 20, 30 throws at the least so he can get in a rhythm, right? It's kind of like a volume shooter compared to a knockdown shooter. Klay Thompson compared to J.R. Smith, right? They both can shoot, right? But who's going to be more consistent? It's going to be Klay Thompson. That's the same thing that you get with the Derek Carr to Tom Brady. They're not in the same realm, but you know what I mean as far as play style.
I like that analogy. Can we I would like to hear your guys' opinions on the Giants beating the Packers in London. The Packers went up, I think they 22 points in the first half and then did not score 20 points in the first half, and then they didn't score a single point until a safety that the Giants gave up at the end of the game out of strategy. We have no offensive wide receivers or weapons outside of Saquon Barkley. And we had a center that was bleeding from his butthole. No, I'm just kidding. It was Daniel Jones's hand was bleeding, and so there was memes all over the internet about the center and the blood on his pants. But it did look like his butthole was bleeding. But why do they keep winning?
Like what?
Why? Man, because honestly, I mean, yes, Dayball's a good coach. He's already proven that. And you guys have a good defense. I believed in that defense since day one this year. I just don't.
Do we have a good defense?
Yeah.
Do we have a good defense?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a good defense. We have a good. They run good schemes. The Wink,
What's wrong with
Mark
that?
Wink Martindale or whatever. Our defensive coordinator schemes up great defense. No. I'm just saying that we have
That's
a good
great.
defense. Yes, but like individual players, like I wouldn't like. I like Xavier McKinney. Like I think he's great.
You don't
Thibodeau
need
hasn't
individuals.
really.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
that's
need
not what makes a
individuals.
defense great, right? Like having great players on the defense, it doesn't matter if they're not cohesive, right?
Mhm.
And right now, the Giants are playing cohesive. But like with that being said, I don't think their defense is necessarily so great. Rather than Dayball is he's a mastermind, right? Like he's the reason why I can make sense why the Bills was winning like that because the way he schemes and controls the game, I think like is one of the best like as a starting coach. You know what I mean? A starting head coach, how he controls the game, right? He keeps the offense on their toes. They're sustaining drives, which the Giants never did before, right? They're not doing a lot of 3 and outs,
You right.
So that's sustaining drives. So guess what that's doing? That's giving the defense time to, recover and get their breath. And then like how is he doing it, right? He has a lot of different formations and things that they're putting in that making teams are like defensive coordinators staying up at night. They're not getting sleep. They're like, what the hell is going on? Like always putting different wrinkles, right? I think the way he's controlling and managing the game is making a world of difference for the Giants, right? I really don't think they're really that good, right? I
They're
think that
not.
most people go against them,
Skill-wise.
and most people's like, oh, that's the fucking Giants. Circle W. It's a W. It's the Giants. And
I
then
mean, we play the Ravens this week.
yeah,
That should
and
be
it's
a
gonna
W for the Ravens.
it's gonna be a blowout.
But the Ravens,
No, it's gonna be a blowout.
I
It's gonna
would
be bad.
not. I would not consider that a blowout.
No, for real. It's gonna be a blowout.
Here,
away
can
from
I
that
explain to you why I think it's not going to be a blowout? If the Ravens would have lost last week, they won on a late field goal. But if they would have lost last week, they would have went more into this game feeling like they had to get a victory. But I also think that our defense is going to scheme something up for Lamar because our defensive coordinator knows Lamar very well. He knows how they went against him every day in practice.
That's good, but he can't play. Like he can't play for them, right? So I know what he likes to do. Yeah, but you're not playing out there, bro. Like
Okay.
you're not playing out there. They're going like Lamar said last week. He's like, damn, bro, we got to put away more points. That's not good enough. So I know that they're gonna come on here with a mission to try to put a 40 piece on y'all, right? Are you guys gonna be able to score 40? That's the question.
They aren't going to have
No, we're not going to have to.
No, the Ravens are not putting 40 up on the Giants.
Okay,
They
not
put up
happening.
19 this week.
well, I know they put 19 up this week. I got it.
All right, Kenny. Well, we'll watch that game together, I guess.
When I'm right, don't say anything. Just be like, okay, Kenny.
I think the Giants cover, but I'm not betting it. But I think they cover.
Okay?
I would bet it.
I stayed away.
Hey,
from it.
I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. They play every game like this. I feel like they're like trying to lose. Like I just want them to win a convincing game. Like every game that they win, it's like high scoring. They look good playing, but they just barely win, or they barely lose at the end. Like I don't know. I hate your guys' coach. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate Brandon Staley. I think he had like a 4th down call in this game that I thought was like the dumbest,
bro.
That was like one of the dumbest calls. Instead of like kicking a field goal to go up points, I can't even stand this guy. Man, it's just sad. You got nothing to say about that, Kenny?
I don't have nothing to say, man. Like we're not good on defense, right? Like opposite of what the Giants is, we have players on defense, but we don't play cohesive, right? There's a lot of individual guys out there playing, right? Offensively, we're just same thing. Got good players. That doesn't mean we're gonna play well, right? It's hit or miss. I haven't yet to see a game where everybody is hitting on all facets. That's not happening yet. Yeah, we got guys hurt on offensive line, but like it's hit or miss who you're getting. So with that being said, I really have nothing to say. Staley's gonna be Staley. He's gonna call he's going to call those plays. It's going to keep your hair on fire. As a Chargers fan, you're going to be upset because you're going to be like, bro, why are you going for it on 4th and 1 on your own 26-yard line or 25-yard line? And you're like, oh, whatever. It's good. And it's going to happen, right? Like, why are you going for it with the minute left? Just punt it. No. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it on 4th and 2. I'm going to go for it. And, if we don't get it, guess what? We put them in field goal race. But who cares? Who cares? All right, so it's like, all right, you just live with it. So I don't think we're really good right now, though, to be honest with you.
I'd be remiss if I don't allow Brian to talk about the Patriots shutting out the number one scoring offense in the league
Doesn't
last
mean
week
anything.
in the Detroit Lions.
Doesn't mean anything. The Lions
You
are
don't
the
wanna-
Lions. They suck.
And what about the Patriots? They don't suck?
They're not like great. Like the Lions went for a fourth down so many damn times. Why wouldn't you play the field position game against a third string quarterback?
Because
Like,
Zappy's the truth.
no, because the Patriots offense was not doing much in that game.
Because of Zappy.
Did you know the Lions were in field goal range 7 times and got no points? None.
Damn, that would have been
If
21
you make
points.
all those kicks, it's 21, and it eliminates the strip sack that happened when you went for it on fourth down one time, which ended up being a Patriots touchdown. Totally different ball game.
You should be a head coach.
I'm just saying, man. Dan Campbell, man, I don't know why he lost his mind trying to go for it all the time. Like, this is the game where he should have been more conservative because he's playing an inept offense, and he should have been playing field position, and should have trusted that he will get more points in the end.
Or
But
is he
Zappy's
playing
the truth.
or is he playing the mind game to
No.
be like, you know what? I got to show that we're a good team, good offense, that we're trying to be good. They're not going to fire me second year in, and I'm trying to get rid of this Jared Goff guy and get a good quarterback in here. So he's trying to tank, but via analytics.
No,
He
he's
doesn't
not trying
know
to
the
do that.
definition of tank. Okay, that man is the
He was
polar
just-
opposite of tank.
He was just nervous. He was just nervous that Zappy is the truth. That's all. That's all
That's
it
what
is.
it is.
Zappy. He had like 20 completions for like not even 200 yards. That's not great.
Speaking of the truth, is Geno Smith the truth?
No.
That
Pete
dude's
Carroll
awesome
is-
right now.
Pete Carroll's a good coach.
No.
That's what that is.
Hey, this are you done, Ryan? Because we need to just put that into hot takes like hotcakes. Let's just roll into it. Let's
Yeah,
roll into hot takes like hotcakes. Is Geno Smith the truth?
No.
I say yes. Right?
don't-
No, he's
so-
not. I don't think he's the truth, but he's playing
No.
very West Virginia like. He's playing like he's back at West Virginia for sure.
He's
can't tell me-
completing 75% of his passes. He's got 1,300 yards. He's got 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
You can't tell me that he is not blowing your mind right now, because we thought that I'm about to say Seattle Hawks, right? Seattle Seahawks doggone offense was going to be complete trash. Tyler Lockett, fantasy, garbage. DK Metcalf, garbage, right? No. That's not the case.
Well, what if it's this, Kenny? What if it's the scheme? And now that Russell Wilson's out of that scheme, he looks like trash. And maybe just that scheme is good for any quarterback that has a little bit of mobility and likes to sling it.
I said that 3 weeks
I don't
ago.
know.
Remember, I said
Maybe
that 3
it's
weeks
just the
ago?
scheme.
I said, is Russell Wilson really good, or is the Seahawks? You said, oh, no, Russell Wilson's really good. He's
Yeah,
really
well, I've
good.
changed
I
my
said,
mind.
He's really good. and he looks like dog water.
Yeah, I've changed my mind.
Russell's
Right.
really bad. He's
Something's
really
wrong
bad at
with
football.
Russell
And I think he got hit a couple too many times. Or
Yeah,
like
something.
the Instagram fame's getting to it. That man's crazy.
What does he do?
He's like in pregame warmups. He's in the end zone, simulating that he's in the huddle calling a play to no one around him
He does that all the time. He's been doing that
because
for
he's
years, bro.
crazy. He's
That's
crazy.
no. So you don't understand. You don't. That's not crazy. That's what coaches tell you. Hey, you got to see yourself in there, see yourself making a play, see yourself running through. So people do it all the time. You do it all the time. You same thing. You do your footsteps. If you were a running back or a receiver, you run your routes. Okay, this cover 2. I'm gonna do a breakdown right here. That's not him being crazy. That's just normal. That's normal stuff.
Well,
Right, you
he's a
gotta see
friggin'
yourself
nut job. He's a geek.
Okay. Hey, since we're on the segment, my question for you guys: is Dak Prescott's job in jeopardy? Is he going to get Tony Romo'd like he
No.
did Tony Romo?
No. They owe him too much money. Jerry owes him too much money. Nope. That's it. That's it right there. And because Dak has proven that he can get them to the playoffs anyways, like, what does Cooper Rush do that Dak can't do?
He's fucking winning.
He's
Yeah.
winning.
Who's to say
He's
that
winning
Dak isn't
games,
winning?
but that's the same thing. That's like the same thing for why they were San Francisco was trying to make the move from Garoppolo. Garoppolo wins games. He's a winner. And maybe that's what Cooper Rush is. They just win games, but he's never going to be able to. If he's in a shootout, Dallas's defense has to be on point every time they play with Cooper Rush. Whereas in previous years, what's his nuts has shown Prescott has shown that he can like sling it.
But to that point, right? Cooper Rush has made a few plays, right? When it came down to it, that Bengals game, that third down, he made a tough ass throw. He's made throws now. It's not like he's out here just game managing, right? He's not Mac Jones, right? He's being very zappy like.
Yeah, Kenny out here on the he's got that backup quarterback fever right now. He likes all the backups.
Kenny does like backups. He's a big Davis Mills fan. So are you, Brian? But like
Davis Mills is at least starting right now. I mean,
seems like a backup.
Well, that's too easy. I have my next question we're rolling to is so Devonte Adams got charged with assault, right? Mm-hmm. So in you guys' opinion, is social media right now having too much control over the narratives that's going on inside sports?
Yeah.
That's the easiest question I've ever given.
Public opinion has been the reason for that goes outside of sports. It's everything. Public opinion is everything now.
Yeah. But to that point, right? You see the film, right? You see it from the angle. They made it seem like, oh, Devonte Adams was just mad. He walked up to somebody and pushed him.
No,
the dude walked directly in front of his face. Boom, like this. If I'm the same, I'm doing the same thing. Did he push him? Yeah, he pushed him. Was the dude a little dramatic? Yeah, he was. He was a little dramatic. But at the end of the day, why would you ever walk in front of a player anyway?
There should be regulations like for player safety, like that.
Exactly.
Cameraman can't get like that.
You can't. Especially in today's day, how am I supposed to know who that person is?
Exactly.
That's like the guy on the sideline holding the antenna to hear the players on the field. Them getting run over by players after they run a play, like them pressing charges because they got pushed over.
100%.
Get out of their way.
Yep.
They're players. Like,
don't be on the sideline like that. Don't be in their way.
It's crazy. I saw like people on Twitter like, "Oh my God, this is a hardworking man, and you're gonna assault him. They should kill." I'm like, bro, are y'all serious right now? I'm like, why does people think that players are not humans? Right? He's frustrated after the game. He's walking back to the locker room. He didn't yell at anybody. He's walking back to the locker room because he's upset. The dude walks in front of him. He's like, "Yo," he pushed him. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure he said some ridiculous.
It'd be one thing if he was just standing there too.
Yeah.
Like if he had just stood there the whole time. And Devonte comes up to him and then pushes him?
That makes sense.
Okay, fine. I agree with that. But the dude ran right in front of him.
Like, it wasn't like right in front of him, like, arm length. It was
like in his face.
Like, he could have tripped him.
Adams didn't even extend his arms. It was like a half a push.
Yeah.
Because it was that close.
Yeah. What'd you say,
I don't know if we talked about this a couple weeks ago when it happened, but the Kyler Murray one when he scored a touchdown and like one of the fans like assaulted him, hit him in the face.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was blown out of proportion too, because it looked like he was trying to get involved in the celebration.
Exactly.
And like hit him in the face, but everyone's like, "No, this man like swung and tried to hit him and knock him out."
You got to protect the players. Like one week is protect the players, the next week is protect the fans. Like, come on, choose a side.
How about the players don't go in the audience like that then? And that takes that out of the game. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, he was just trying to get involved in the celebration and just got a little too excited.
Okay.
Which, alcohol is sold there, so hello, people are probably drunk. And
100%. And that game was intense. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Another one, a Raiders lost that shouldn't have lost. But anyway, so leading to my next question, are the rough and passing penalties getting out of hand, right? There was a couple last week that happened. I know one that happened with the Raiders Chiefs game, Tom Brady, a few last week that people are like, defensive players are just getting upset. They're like, bro, we can't even tackle these guys without getting a penalty. Like what is you guys' opinion on that?
I mean, I don't know. We're obviously going to get into the discussion of how some people feel on social media when it comes to they believe race has like a large thing to do with whether or not you get a flag thrown for roughing the passer or not. But I will say that some of these players are really smart at like staying engaged with the referees. Like if you ever watch like Tom Brady, like when he's like mic'd up, he's like chatting with the refs, like knows their first name. He's giving like he's getting very
He's also in
personable.
their ass all game.
Exactly. So like when he looks over at them, like I just got thrown to the ground, I feel like they feel obligated to like throw the flag, even if it's like not really a call. Like that roughing the passer penalty on Brady was pathetic. Like that
Yeah,
was a really bad call, and it shouldn't have been a flag.
Same
Like
with
the only
Chiefs
way
and
that
Raiders.
is not a flag is if they like if he lays him down, like holds his head, and
like a pillow.
Yeah, put a pillow
Like a
down.
baby. Put him down like a baby into the crib. Like it's to the point now where guys are tackling and you before they even get to the ground, they're like this, hands off, stop, drop, and roll in the air, right? Like trying to make it seem like, hey, listen, I'm not trying to hurt him, and they still get a flag half the time.
I
Okay,
remember
so-
a couple years ago someone was trying to tackle, I think it was Josh Allen,
Yeah,
and I want to say it was Jadeveon Clowney. He like went to hit him, and he could have pile drived him in the ground, but instead he like let him go because he figured forward progress stops, he'll let him go. And they let the play keep going, and Josh Allen like went running around the side and threw like for a first down, and he was like, "What the like? What am I supposed to?" That's what you're gonna get from defensive players. They're gonna like give up on plays and stuff like that's gonna happen.
I have a little interesting stat. Since 2009, roughing the passer penalties, did you know that Brady has 27, Rodgers has 28, but here's the kicker. Mahomes, who's played far less games because he hasn't been in the league as long, has got 20, and Josh Allen has 24. So just want to put that to bed that, like it's always Rodgers and Brady getting the calls. Like the young guys are getting them too.
Or it's an NFL thing like, hey, listen, you got to look out for our future, the big players.
It could be.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so.
I agree, but theirs are egregious because it's like within the pocket. Most of the roughing the passer calls you're getting from like the quarterbacks is because they're like trying to run, and it's a weird mix between whether or not they're a runner or they're trying to give themselves up. And that's why like Josh Allen will get a lot of those, or Patrick Mahomes will get a lot of those because it's just they're running or scrambling around a lot more than Brady per se. But like,
well, I think once you're outside the pocket, you should the rough in the passer should be somehow like harder to get, like that. It needs to be like a more egregious hit in order for it to be rough in the passer because of
or a
the fact
lessened penalty. Like it's not an automatic first down if it's like
something like that.
Yeah,
because you do have these guys that can run, like you just brought up, like that you don't know if are they running or are they getting ready to throw. Like these defensive players can't risk that. They have to take them down.
Yeah, they should make a penalty like they do with the punting, with the kicker when you punt, right? Even roughing the kicker, and then what's the other one?
Running into the kicker,
right? So it should have something like that, like variation where it goes from 15 to 5 yards, right? Like you're saying. So I'll say this is my last. I got two quick questions, and we'll get into Ryan's fantasies and BK bets. I'm going to ask this question to Brian. Brian, in your opinion, with the Jordan Poole Draymond situation, do you think that they can work together this year, or do you think that somebody has to get traded?
I think Draymond needs to go. Simple as that. Because
I guess that answers your question.
What I've heard is what I've heard from different people in the media is that Jordan Poole still hasn't even spoke to him, and I don't blame him. He got cold clocked. Like simple as that. Like there's no room for that on a team.
Yep. Especially when that's supposed to be your mentee, right? You be your mentee, and you're supposed to bring him along.
He sleep with his wife?
No, he
didn't do nothing.
They were talking shit during practice, and Draymond freaking wound up and clocked him.
He said he was going through a lot and all that.
It don't matter.
Who knows, right? At the end of the day, the way he hit him, it was crazy. I'm curious because in my opinion, I think, like to your point, somebody has to get traded. I don't think I could be on the same, like seeing that film over and over and over again. I don't think I could be around you every day and be okay with that, right? Because then I would want to fight you every day. I'm like, no, you got to see me every day.
My point is it's got to be Draymond that has to go because it's not just Jordan Poole that has an issue with him. I'm sure a lot of those guys lost a lot of respect for him.
Well, for sure.
And so why do they want him on the team anymore?
Especially when he's supposed to be your leader.
Yeah, like they're not going to look at him like that anymore
Yeah.
because a lot of guys respect Jordan Poole as the player, as a good player. So like, yeah, it's not going to work.
Ryan, NFC East are the beast. Oh, that's all I got to say. Let's get to Ryan's fantasies.
We are NFC least my ass.
Except
They're
for the
so good.
Commanders.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Did you? Oh, before I do Ryan's fantasies, did you see Ron Rivera's remarks when he's like, why do you think the reason is that the other teams are doing so well in the NFC East? And he's like, quarterback? Like, like he said. And then he tried to retract it later, but yeah.
Poor
Carson Wentz is just not playing well, which is shocking. He was playing so well the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show streaming quarterbacks in fantasy football. It is possible, but it is risque.
It's a dangerous game.
Sometimes you get stuck with players that get you like 5 points, like Trevor Lawrence, or you start Jared Goff because people have been throwing the ball a ton against the Patriots, and he's been throwing the ball a ton on offense, and sometimes 1 + 1 does not equal 2, and he only gets you like -2 points. So like, these are just things that you're going to want to work on. If you're worried about Kyler Murray,
don't be.
He should be all right this week against the Seahawks. They've always given up a ton of passing yards.
They gave the Saints up. The Saints put up points.
Another team defense that I love targeting in almost every single positional category. It's the Cardinals. The Cardinals defense is like Swiss cheese. They're just really bad. So if you like Kyler against Seattle, you're gonna love Geno against Arizona, and that's a good streaming option, depending on if he plays. And then I would not dare suggest that you play Daniel Jones against the Ravens, even though the Ravens defense is pretty bad. But I would not suggest you to do that.
I think the Ravens have looked a little bit better since that Miami debacle. I will give them that. They've gotten better.
Well, don't do it. Don't you dare. Hey, so at the running back position, Kenneth Walker, because I told you I hate the Cardinals on every defensive category. So start Kenneth Walker. He should get the bulk of the workload. 2 weeks ago, Rashad Penny had 2 touchdowns and like 180 yards. So, and he busted off a big run. So he's liable to break some big yardage because he's pretty fast. Damian Harris is going to be probably out. I know he was limited in practice, but he's likely going to be out. So Ramondre Stevenson is going to be the guy. He is going to get the bulk of the carries. He was amazing this last week when he had the bulk of the carries.
He will not look back either, even when Harris comes back. It's his backfield now.
And the only other one that I would, I could see him getting more work is Melvin Gordon. Obviously, this last week he had some usage, but he was still gun shy because he'd fumble a lot this season. I think it was like 5 times. It's been ridiculous. So he shared the backfield a little bit last week. Didn't have any fumbles. So I think his role is just going to increase as the season goes on, and he's going to be the RB you're going to want in that backfield. And this week, you got to get him out there. You're going to see a lot of people suggest at the wide receiver position to start Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is a big trade target to try and trade him away so that you can get high value for him. Because don't get me wrong, he's a boomer, but he is the epitome of like boomer bust. He's not getting a lot of targets. The most targets he's had in a game is 6. He's just getting these like 50-yard catches, and which, don't get me wrong, if you're going to throw a person in your lineup because you got to beat someone that you're playing like the number 1 team that week, and you need someone that's either going to score you 30 or score you like 5, you need to that range of outcomes. Gabe Davis is the guy that you're going to want to throw in your lineup because he's on a high-scoring offense.
Give you 80 or give you nothing?
Yeah. Tyler Lockett is great. And then for some reason, George Pickens and Kenny Pickett love each other. Like he's like I was a little scared because I have Deontay in a couple leagues, and I was nervous the first week that Pickett came in. He wasn't throwing a ton to Deontay, but he did at least share the targets with him this week and Pickens. So it's split between those two, and then whoever, what's his name, Mapletron or whatever he calls himself, Chase Claypool. He's basically like
He
he
calls
only
himself
run,
Mapletron.
yeah, because he's from Canada and he models himself after after Megatron. Anyways, he only runs.
Megatron's jock.
He can't. He only runs routes that are probably like I think his average depth of like catch is like 2 yards. He
only runs drags, bro. He runs drags, right? He does unders. That's it.
I could scheme up a defense to play against Claypool pretty easily. He's gonna do a jet sweep maybe once or twice in the game, and that's it. And then he's gonna catch some drags coming across the field. And then my boy, who's just gonna start heating up as he starts getting more and more healthy, is my man Chris Godwin. He's got 2 weeks. He's playing with Brady. He's getting a lot of targets still, but he's still healthy. He's not injured yet. So as long as his hamstring doesn't act up, he should be locked into your lineup in every format. And then I know Kenny's going to disagree with me here at the tight end position. A lot of people,
say that boy name.
A lot of people are going to love Taysom Hill, but I am not playing that game. I like Taysom Hill because they use him in a lot of ways, but there are going to be some games where he's just not going to be used. Or I don't know how he had this. He had one of the most efficient games I've ever seen a player have. I think he had like a fumble recovery. He had some kick returns on special teams. He had a throw touchdown, a rushing touchdown. Like this dude was a monster last game. So a lot of people are going to go running after him.
That's why he's going to have a big week this week, right? Because they are going to try to get him involved because he scored last week and they got to keep the narrative going. And then after this week, he's going to bust. I'm telling you. They're going to give him involved this week. He's going to get some targets, get some action, and then he's going to flop for the rest of the year. And not for the rest of the year, but next couple weeks.
Those streaming tight ends, you want the high volume guys that they have the opportunity. Kyle Pitts, I'm not even going to get it. I can't even talk about that guy. But David Njoku is getting a ton of targets every week. He's getting worked into the offense. Evan Ingram, shockingly, is getting a lot of targets in. I think he had like 10 targets last week. Mm-hmm. And then, Noah Fant is starting to work his way into the offense as well and get a little more comfortable with Kyler. And like I said, anyone going against the Cardinals is kind of fair game. And I wouldn't trust Dalton Schultz until he's healthy and Dak is back because Dak loves that man.
Yep. Man, I just want to say I appreciate you, Ryan, and Brian, for telling me about Kyle Pitts, man. He's an awesome player that doesn't produce. But anyway,
Trade him.
For what? For what?
I'll give you a bag of chips. I'll give you Rashad Penny.
Nobody wants him. Nah, bro. Nobody wants him. All right, man. Let's get into BK bets, man. I have nothing to say. I didn't win any money last week. Brian won you some money the week before, right? He'll get into that. But let me go ahead and hit on college, right? So I've been switching it up a little bit. It's some good games up here, so I'm not going to give you just 4-team parlay or 3-team parlay. I'm going to give you teams to let you pick out what you want, mix and match. So I have Penn State versus Michigan. I like Penn State +7. Kentucky is going against Oklahoma. Kansas is going against Oklahoma. I like them +9. USC, I like them +3.5 versus Utah. I know it's at Utah. It always bites me in my ass when I play against Utah. But guess what? I like USC. I like what they got over there. I like the over for the TCU Oklahoma State game at over 68. I like the over 65.5 Alabama Tennessee game. The reason why I'm erring on that side is because I don't know if Bryce Young is playing. If Bryce Young is playing, then I definitely like it even more. And I like Alabama -7. If he's not playing, then guess what? I like the over because don't ever count Nick Saban out. I don't know what he might have up his sleeve. Milroe might have a great practice week and shows up points, but I know Tennessee's going to put up points for sure because our defense is not good enough. And then the last game, I like Arkansas money line versus BYU, right? So those are the 6 teams you can go with. I'm probably going to most likely go with the 2 overs in USC. And then for 4th team, I'm going to put on Arkansas or Penn State. So that's what I got for college.
Not bad. Hey, so like Kenny said, I had a 4-teamer in 2 weeks ago. We pushed on one, so it ended up being a 3-teamer at the end of it, but still won you a little money if you followed on Action Sports. This week I got a 3-teamer. It's gonna be I'm taking Tampa -8.5 at Pittsburgh. I am way down on Pittsburgh, and Tom Brady's gonna start slinging it now. So yeah, I think Tampa's gonna do some damage. And historically, Brady has always played well at Heinz Field, and I don't care what it's called now. It's Heinz Field.
Yep.
I got New England +2.5 at Cleveland. Bill's gonna
Can't have a week of betting without talking about the Patriots.
No. This is actually the first week I've bet on them in our 3-team parlay.
Yeah, sure.
It is.
So calm down. No, I think Bill's gonna be able to scheme up a game plan against Brissett. He's gonna do what he can against Chubb in that run game and make Brissett have to try to throw. And the Patriots' pass defense has been looking better lately. So, and that boy Jack Jones, watch out. He looks like the real deal at corner. So we'll see. And then that's +2.5. And then Cincinnati -1.5 at New Orleans. Basically a pick 'em. I like Cincinnati in that game.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably take that money line. Forget that hook. Just get a money line. You lose a couple dollars, $3 or $4, but it's worth it, right? Because they win. If they don't, right, win by 2, you'll be pissed the hell off, right? But yeah, man, is it for the BK bets, guys. You have anything before I let us go?
Yeah, one last thing, in case you're not tracking. This is the first week of bye weeks. So the Detroit Lions, the Las Vegas Raiders, Tennessee Titans, and Houston Texans are all on bye. So if you have players in those games, get them out of your lineup, drop them. No, I'm just kidding. Don't drop them. But yeah, sucks to suck.
Right. I have a lot of guys on bye week. So as always, guys, we appreciate the support, man. Keep looking at the videos, like, subscribe, share with your friends, follow us on all the social medias, and we'll see you guys next week. Good luck with your fantasies. Good luck with your picks. Let's get some money. Let's win some games. Peace.